Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a mini homeschool haul. So with the events of the pandemic slowly unraveling yet again here where we live, my husband and I made the decision that instead of sending her to a Montessori school, we would be homeschooling. If you didn't know this, watching my prior blogs, you would know that I am a teacher by trade. I taught for 6 years in the classroom, teaching kindergarten, first grade, and fifth grade, primarily teaching in fifth grade. To prepare for our homeschooling year, I did sign up for a Montessori homeschooling course by Aubrey Hargis called Homeschool of the Redwoods. Phenomenal course, guys. She has a way of just simplifying everything and making you feel as though you can achieve this and you can teach your child from home, because it can be very daunting, the thought that you are going to be educating your child, especially if you do not have a degree in education. And I would say that as a parent, you also want to be a learner, not just teaching your child, because you have to do your own research. You have to gain your own philosophy of teaching, honestly, if you're going to teach from home as well. I can tell you in the classroom, I had a philosophy, and unfortunately public school did not meet my philosophy. So I chose to leave the classroom to be home with Scarlett. It wasn't that we intended to homeschool, but with time, observing things in our culture and in our public school system, we realized that Montessori was what was best for our family. I'm going to be making more videos about how I will be homeschooling us and just the lessons that I'm doing, but I wanted to come on here today and just show you some of the materials that we will be using. These are things that you might want to purchase at home. Without further ado, let's get started with materials that I've bought for our homeschooling year. Scarlett loves birds, as y'all saw in my Christmas gift guide if you haven't seen that. So I want to look at backyard birds, so you know that I got that book. If you didn't see it, I'm going to go ahead and include a picture here. It's the book of backyard bird songs, and it has little buttons that you can click and it plays common backyard birds. And then inside the book is facts about each bird. So to go along with that, I went ahead and got this. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a picture, so I'll include that as well once I bring this down. But it's the Wild Birds of Joy, and it's actually a clear bird feeder that goes on your window. So we'll be able to put the bird seed in there, and she'll be able to see the birds come up to our homeschooling room window and actually observe them up close. I went ahead and picked up this book to piggyback on the topic of birds because they do eat seeds. And this book is beautiful, absolutely beautiful illustration. You can just even tell, look at this, by the cover. And it's called A Seed is Sleepy by Diana Hutt Aston. And in the book are just a variety of different seeds. I mean, just look at these illustrations, absolutely gorgeous. To learn about all the different seeds, so those are things that we can explore in our environment outside. So that's our bird study that we'll be doing. She just is really interested in ants, and she's always wondering what they are, what they're doing there, and she's gotten bitten by a couple. So she kind of has a negative connotation of them, and I'd like to change that for her. Yeah, they can be pesky, just like, you know, bees and other insects in our world, but I want her to understand that they also have a purpose and that they do pretty amazing things. So I want to do an ant study. I do not have any books on ants right now, but I wanted to pick this up for sure as part of our study because I can check those books out at the library. So I got her this Wildlife Habitats Ant Farm. So we're gonna go ahead and build, I'm gonna turn this around so you can see. We're gonna build this ant farm and watch and observe as part of our study as we're learning about ants. She's very interested in the moon. That's something she's always looking at, and just what the sun is and why it's so bright, and our planet, because we started to look at the globe. So I went ahead and picked up a few books from Usborne. They're very informational, they're very interactive. So I picked up a few about space. So we have A Look Inside Space, and it's a Lift the Flap book, and it covers different topics. So here is like rockets, and then you have the moon, and then you have the space station, and then each of these flaps, where's this one, lifts up, It says astronauts travel to the space station from Earth on a spacecraft. And then when you lift it up, it says the spacecraft connects to the station, and the astronauts climb inside. You can see them going inside. And the whole book is like that, and it covers just a variety of topics, and it's quick, it's concise, and then it moves into further topics like the sun. Oh no. Well, you just witnessed me ruin a book. It opens this way. That's so cool. I hadn't opened this part yet. So look, it shows all the planets. So it's very bright, very vivid. It's a little busy with the text, but this is not the kind of book that you sit and you just read to them. You know, it's like a reference book. I got What is the Moon? And this is very similar, but it's all about the moon, and it's a little more simplified than the Look Inside books. This series is meant for a little bit younger children. So like here on this page, it says, what shape is the moon? And it says a circle. And then it shows the full moon. It says it's called a full moon. And here, what shape is the moon? A banana shape. That's called a crescent moon. It's engaging, but it's also informational. I forgot to show this one. I got this one also. It's a solar system puzzle and a book. I totally did not realize it was 200 pieces. But this is something we can do together, take our time on, again, teaching patience and concentration. So I want to do this with her over time when we do our space unit. I just thought it was so nice. And then I can frame it and we can hang it in our homeschooling room, and she can have that as a visual reference for her as well. I picked up this as part of the, what is it called? Prime Day deals. It is a game of matching animals, and the pictures are real, and it names each animal on their cards. So let me go ahead and put that closer so you can see. But it makes a great game, but it also allows us to learn new animals, and if she becomes interested in one, can lead to more discovery. And then the last thing I'm going to show you for our study of sciences is going to be a couple of more books that I'm going to keep on hand as things that she can pick up off the shelf, or that I can include in our shelf rotations, because I'm not always going to do unit studies. I may do things that are seasonal or holidays, but I do want to have some things that are not necessarily just a unit study that she can reference and that may be of interest to her. It's called A Look Inside Your Body. Again, lift the flap, and it just talks about the human body. So you can see here, the digestive system, bones, the brain. All right, another one I got was Worm Weather. And this was just a fun little picture book just about worms. I thought this would be good for the spring when we have a lot of rain and we're more likely to see those worms coming out of the ground. So I picked that up. I got this one. We'll probably actually be reading this here soon. Goodbye Autumn, Hello Winter. This is a beautiful book, and it explains transitions we see from one season to the next. So we did read Goodbye Summer, Hello Fall. And so now we actually own the Goodbye Fall, Hello Winter. Next we have Beehive. So this goes into bees. Again, I brought this one up for her dad. He is terrified of bees, and I thought this is good to have to introduce to her the importance of bees, because she's now a little scared of them because of his reactions. So I want to be sure that she just has awareness. You know, it's okay to have fears. I have probably an irrational fear of roaches, but I want her to at least have an understanding of their purpose. I just don't believe roaches have purpose. She's about recycling and trash. She's obsessed with helping Dad take the trash out, and she liked seeing the garbage truck when we lived in our home. So I thought this would be a good one. It's very similar to the other book about weather. So there's questions about trash, and under each one there are flaps that answer those questions. So collecting trash, getting rid of trash, how recycling works. So again, good resource to have to answer those questions, you know, because kids ask a lot of questions. Got this answers and questions book about weather. And I like this one because instead of just providing information on top of the flap and then more underneath that relates to it, which is great, this one asks questions and it answers it under the flap. So like here it says, where does it never rain? Murdo Dry Valleys in Antarctica, no rain has fallen there for probably 2 million years. And then it shows them. So she'll be learning a bunch of facts and information just through these like interactive books. So if you are looking for informational, vivid colors, pretty much realistic looking drawings, because they're not pictures, Usborne is a great resource. Okay, so some other books that I have to go along with our world study is Me on the Map. I actually had this one as a teacher. I used it when I taught kindergarten. And this book just kind of explains, you know, cities and states and countries and continents and the world. And it just breaks all of that up, as you can see here. So this is a good one, good resource. And then I got this book, Geography from A to Z, a picture glossary. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to introduce these kinds of resources to Scarlett. I feel like everything is just so much on the internet now that I would like for her to be able to look something up. So if it says, okay, you know, a delta, well, what's a delta? We can actually find it in our book and it shows us a delta. It is a drawing, it's not a real picture. So I would definitely supplement a resource like this with realistic pictures, but it's good to have on hand as a way for her to search for her information. And then it provides just a very simple definition. And there's a lot of topics in here that are covered, all related to geography. I figured this would get a lot of use in our years of homeschooling. Children's Picture Atlas. It has wonderful maps in it. It breaks down the maps from the world down to continents, and then each picture, on each map, it includes images of items that are found regionally in those areas. So another great resource for us to use here at home. I love the library and I definitely utilize the library as much as I can, but it's very hard to get books sometimes because based on what they're teaching in the public school or, you know, other people homeschooling in the area, it's not always easy to get these books. So I don't buy everything, but I buy books like this that are great references for us to have on hand to be able to look at any time. And this is also another Usborne book. The next thing that I have here that I've actually shared over on Instagram was a dollar spot find at Target, and it is a felt world map. At first I didn't really love it, like the colors. So it looks like this. You gotta iron this thing out or something, but it has the outlines of each of the continents, and then each continent can be placed on top. But what I do like, I was gonna remake all of these. Okay, I used to sew, and I was gonna remake all of these, but I do like how it shows regionally different elements that you would find. Like, it's obviously very snowy up here. Down here we see a lot of trees, we see cactuses, we see palms, and what would be considered the tropical areas. So I think I'm gonna keep it. And then what comes along with this are animals, and they have to match them to the region. So we can actually do a study. We can pull out elephants and say, okay, well, what continent are they originally from? And it helps us build that. Now, we'll probably use our realistic animals, but we have these just in the event that we need them. It'll probably have more than what we currently have. So that was a good pickup last year at the dollar spot. I want to share with you, this is the one I'm most excited about, is a microscope. I did not get a traditional microscope. I did get one that plugs into the computer. And I'll have to show you all that later, but it does come with a little stand so we can plug it in and it will just zoom into anything we're looking at. So I thought that was an awesome resource. Today was science and geography focused. So I will be having more videos showing language, showing practical life, showing mathematics, and showing cultural studies and sensorial items. Some of those will kind of be mixed in together. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a 5 to 6 part series. So this is just part 1, again, because I love sciences and I love the study of geography. As much as I can, I will link these items down below for you to find in case you are interested in having any of them for your home or homeschooling experience. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the items that I shared with you today, and I hope that you were inspired to do your own homeschooling. You are the most influential person. So I hope that you pursue that. Don't be afraid. You truly are your child's #1 teacher. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get notifications of new videos. And I will see you soon, guys. Bye.